Thinking Aloud. Conversations on the leading edge of knowledge and discovery with psychologist Jeffrey Mishlove.
War.
Yes.
War occurs because one group of people decide that it's in their best interest to kill other human beings. They're willing to kill other human beings, and they become enemies because they're willing to kill each other, or because they perceive that the enemy wants to kill them.
Sure.
How do you overcome that level of disconnection?
I think two things. I've working with a lot of folks who, for example, are working with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Mm-hmm. And one of those 17 goals is how do we bring about peace across the world. Yeah. But all the other 16 Sustainable Development Goals, whether it's the education of women and girls, whether it's getting greater equality in the world, for me, what those Sustainable Development Goals are all about, or SDGs are about, they're in responses to our dysfunctional behaviors, such as you're describing. But as a healer as well as a cosmologist, I know that those dysfunctional behaviors, rather like the symptoms of a dis-ease, come from our collective dis-ease. Yeah. And our collective dis-ease for me is our perspective, our fragmented perspectives of the nature of reality. If we believe the world is separate, then we believe at some level the world's a dangerous place and that other folks are dangerous. So kill or be killed. Dog eat dog. If we actually can heal those fragmented perspectives into a whole worldview that understands that actually reality is unified and we're not separate, instead of separation and fear, perhaps we can understand that with all our diversity, we can empower the uniqueness of the me, celebrate the diversity of the we, realize the abundance of our beloved Mother Earth, and perhaps find ways to peace. But I do appreciate that the appearance of separation, of duality, has caused major traumas within our collective psyche. So as Ken Wilber says, you know, we need to wake up, grow up, show up, and mop up. We can't just go, oh, reality's unified, how wonderful. We also have to realize that there's emotional trauma that still has played out in these residual ways of dysfunction. And we have to find ways of healing that.
Well, one of the patterns that seems to exist throughout the world's religions is a justification for war. You have the idea of the noble war, and that war is where men achieve glory. Glory being like almost a religious term like beatification.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Even the Bhagavad Gita, from the culture that brought us nonviolence, seems to suggest it's okay to kill your relatives if that's your duty, and don't worry about it. God will take care of everything. Only God is responsible for life and death. So it's sort of like, you know, shoot first and ask questions later. God will take care of everything. It seems to me that that's a pattern that's deeply embedded throughout many cultures.
It is a deep pattern. It is a very deep pattern. And, you know, the idea of God will take care of it, there's still that duality, there's still that separation of somehow God's out there and we're here. And a lot of, you know, many spiritual traditions, the mystics of those traditions, have actually explored the nature of consciousness and the nature of reality at a very profound level. And at that profound level, most, if not all of them, have realized that the nature of God is everything. God is, like Einstein said, cosmic mind, infinite, eternal, of which our universe is a finite thought form. Yeah, within that, and we are microcosmic co-creators. And it seems to me that we're at a point in our evolutionary journey where science is also discovering this ultimate unified understanding of reality where God isn't there.
Yeah.
He, she, it, not to genderize God, but really understand that God is the infinity of cosmic mind. The universe is a macrocosmic expression of cosmic mind in its finiteness. We are microcosmic. And that all the religions ultimately reveal themselves as many different paths up the same mountain.
Yeah. Now, I know you draw to some extent upon the work of Stanislav Grof. And he's written a book called The Cosmic Mind, which expresses some of these principles. But he also writes in The Cosmic Mind that things that cause humans to normally laugh or cry, especially cry, look different from the perspective of the cosmic mind. Things that might seem terribly tragic to us are just part of the natural functionings of the cosmos.
To some degree, in the sense that if we move beyond the sort of the space-time perspective of separateness, because we've convinced ourselves of separateness, it isn't the reality. But
it's as if a young teenager needs to experience separateness in order to develop their sense of self.
I agree. I have no issue with any of that. But there comes a point where the separateness is so extreme that it's brought us to a point where we can not just destroy ourselves as a species, but also destroy our planetary home and all the other species and sentient entities that are part of the consciousness of Gaia. So yeah, we can do that, and yes, the cosmic mind will go, yeah, another planet gone. I don't want to be part of an awareness that takes that path.